welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Game. And if this is your first time tuning in, you already know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Nephew Q, aka Cowboy Q, for those who are on their Yellowstone kick. And I got my dude in the building, my left, y'all right if y'all watching via Facebook Live. I got LeBron James, biggest fan, the president of the LeBron James fan club. I got Ralph C in the building. Go introduce yourself, my guy, Ralph.
This guy, here he goes again, another week. Same old
Same old foolishness.
What's up, world? Let's get to it.
I'm just saying, yo Kings though.
Come on now.
Yo Kings though.
Let's talk about it.
They having a great season.
Let's talk about it.
You know who they remind me of?
Don't do it.
Okay, my bad.
He's disrespectful.
I was just gonna say, you remember those Atlanta Hawks team with Al Horford, Joe Johnson, Marcus Teague, and all of them?
Yeah.
They was great through the regular season.
Right. And voted in the playoffs.
That's
You
what
mean Joe Johnson, who stole all the money?
Joe Johnson, yeah, the one who was robbing the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, that Joe Johnson right there.
All I can say is we young, and we ain't been there in a while, so we'll see what happens.
Hey,
Man, that seems to be the excuse for all UK fans. Go ahead,
No,
though.
for real though, De'Aaron Fox, man.
Yes, sir.
He
Talk
needs to
about
be
it.
All NBA.
Talk about
Who's
it.
that?
De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
I don't
see?
know if it's gonna be first team, but
Talk about
second
it,
or
bro.
third, he's all NBA.
100%.
Was he play
He's
forward,
bald as shit.
center? Is he on the coaching staff? What's he do?
Here we go.
What's he do? I ain't never
We
heard
got
the
a
guy.
guest today. Don't be disrespectful.
You're
man.
right. So, anyways, we got to get a special guest in the building. This dude coached at Henry Clay High School. He used to get buckets back in the day. He has a lot of sports knowledge and wisdom. I just hate the fact that he's a Texas Longhorn fan.
Hook 'em horns.
Are you really?
Yeah, he's a
Longhorns.
Texas Longhorn fan. But the great thing is he's a Los Angeles Lakers fan, so you already know what that means. Brian Gang. But anyways,
Oh, don't be a 49er game.
I'm not saying. I'm not getting ready to say. I almost said 49er back. But anyways, we got Ozon Mitchell in the building. Gonna introduce yourself real quick
Yo,
one time.
what's up, people? What's happening? Glad to be here, man. Thank y'all for the invite.
Yes, sir. You reached out to me, it was about a month ago. You was like, man, when am I getting on the show? Boom, here we are.
Oh.
But anyways, let's talk a little high school Sweet 16 action. As you know, we were down there covering the game, so we gonna get into that. Shout out to Warren Central, who won the state championship. Shout out to them against a hard-fought matchup against GRC. It was a rematch of last year's state championship game, hard-fought game to the end. Jerome Morton did all he could do. Sam Parrish did all he could do, but it just wasn't enough for Warren Central. So, I'm going to throw it over to you first, man, until Daniel get in the building.
Mm-hmm.
What team, I know Warren Central won it all, so outside of them, what other teams impressed you down at Rupp?
It definitely has to be the three area school teams.
Okay.
Frederick Douglass, Clark County, and Woodford County.
Mm-hmm.
Those two young bulls that Frederick Douglass has, Avion Chenault and Armello Boone.
That Avion Chenault, boy.
He different, ain't he?
Boy, his
Man,
jump,
he's
boy.
Jumping out of the gym, ain't he?
His jump, boy.
Yeah, he is something different. And those young cats that Woodford County have, man,
Yeah, bro.
I think they're only losing, they're losing two players, but majority of them are coming back next year, man. So they're gonna be a sight, man. I could easily see them and Frederick Douglass playing for the championship next year.
As long as they don't try to put us on the same side, as long as they don't try to put us on the same side, now I can definitely get with that as well. What about players, man? Did any players stand out to you, or players stand out to you?
Of course, Jerome Morton, who I feel like is the best basketball player in the state.
Agreed. No disrespect to Rep Chief, whatever that boy's name.
Reed Shepherd.
Reed Shepherd, yeah.
But to me, I've seen Jerome grow from last summer, and because he played in the dirt bowl, he played against grown men, and he was giving grown men buckets last year.
Mm-hmm.
So from what he did up until this past Saturday, man, I was very impressed. And that dunk
That he had on Avion Chenault,
Oh,
yeah. He caught a body on
him.
yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, he talked about it in the press conference too.
They said they was playing with my hops.
so he had to show him something.
Also, Sam Parrish, he put on the show.
Yeah.
For Clark County.
Mm-hmm. He could have easily, if GRC would have won, he could have easily been the most valuable player.
Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. Those three kids from Warren Central, the Chappelle kid, the Unseld kid, and that the other guard. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, because he was getting buckets in the state championship game
Yes.
too. But for me, while you looked that up, for me, I was actually blown away by Warren Central's depth. Like they just came at you in waves, right? And the one thing I did notice about these teams, the Final Four teams, I'll just stick with the Final Four teams, which was GRC, Frederick Douglass, Warren Central, and Wofford County, right? The three teams, Wofford County, Frederick Douglass, and GRC, I just didn't see them using their bench a lot. Like, I know you got to shorten your rotation a little bit, but it seemed like they was only going with 5, maybe 6.
6 deep, yeah. And that surprises me as well with some of the talent that they do have on the bench.
Yeah.
And they cut it so short, especially with Wofford County. You know, you had the big kid coming off the bench, the one who's been hurt all year,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Jenkins on the bench, who's I've heard is a great shooter. You got to put them in the rotation. You got to give some of those guys a rest. You got to give
Jasper Johnson.
you got to give him a rest.
Santonio Wade.
You got to rest these kids, man, because now you're playing on a bigger court instead of high school court is smaller than a college court.
Right.
We all know that.
Right.
And then you're trying to press, you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, trap and stuff like that. So you have to use that rotation, man, to get those guys in. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that might have cost GRC and Frederick Douglass? Well, minus the Frederick Douglass rumors, do you think the lack of using your depth might have caused these two teams?
I think, me personally, I think what caused GRC is they played that second game, and they played against Frederick Douglass.
I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about that too.
And it took a lot of their legs away from them. We asked the coach, you know what I'm saying, during the interview process, did that take away some of their legs, you know what I'm saying, because he pressed in the second half, but he didn't press in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I was trying to save the legs as much as I possibly could. So I think playing that second game is always a disadvantage. And I think Warren Central played that second game last year in the championship game and ended up losing to Clark County. So is it coincidence?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
What do you think about that? Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, why does Kentucky have their semifinal and final on the same day?
That's tough, man.
Yeah, they just recently turned back to that because I know they were playing on Sundays for like 7 or 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it has anything to do with the church situation or the people trying to find parking downtown and those scenarios.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm sure that might have been one of the problems on why they switched it back. Maybe the revenue problem because of the cost of renting out Rupp Arena.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just do it that one day, you have the whole day, and you don't have to bring people back on that Sunday.
So my question is, why wouldn't they just do a Tuesday through Saturday instead of Wednesday through Saturday? So therefore, you can still end it on that Saturday. You ain't got to worry about the church services and all of that type of stuff.
And then you still have to look at the demographics or the geographic things about kids getting out of school, people trying to come in. And
yeah, that's true.
You're still trying. It's a revenue. You're still trying to build revenue, and it's about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. They said this is the most attendance has been there in 15 years. They had 99,000.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, over 99,000 people show up.
I bet 70,000 was Wofford County.
Yeah.
I bet 70,000 was Wofford
didn't they?
County. Yeah.
Brought the whole town up. So you have to look at the revenue aspect of it too. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to pay people. So
That's true.
yeah.
So we got Big Brew in the building who just hopped in. We talking a little Sweet 16 high school action real quick before we get Shelvin on the line. What's your thoughts, views, and opinions on high school? We was talking about what outside of Warren Central because they won it all, obviously. What other team impressed you during the high school Sweet 16?
I like GRC, but I'm gonna go with some teams that people aren't familiar with, like Lyon County.
Mm-hmm.
They play good. They kind of gave the blueprint on how to beat Warren Central. I know Jerron, he runs a 6-man rotation. He don't like to play more than 6 guys.
We was just talking about that.
So I mean, I think I understand you can't really knock them because it got them this far, but sometimes when you get in that situation, you got to roll the dice a little bit.
Speaking on the Lyon County team, we know all about the leading scorer.
Travis
That's
Curtis.
what I was gonna ask. Is that the guy that?
Yeah. But that kid's shoulders that runs with him, he's a nice sized kid.
I in the hospitality room, I was down there getting something to eat, and I ran into Truck, and Truck had shoulders and the other kid Reddick, and he was like, man, come interview with me real quick. So I came over there, and Reddick was a little bit. I'm looking at shoulders. I'm like, hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was looking up at bro a little bit.
Shoulders look like he could be a D1 tight end.
I was like, hold on, bro, who's this kid right here? But I told Reddick, I was like, man, throughout this tournament, I heard your name called so much during the tournament. It's like every time I turned around, it was Reddick for 2, Reddick for 3. I was like, he was getting buckets. But I was looking at the shoulders kid. I was like, bro, whose daddy are you, dog? Like, like for real.
Is he that big?
Like he was like, I'm looking up at Buddy, dog.
It was crazy because like when you're watching from the media press, you can kind of tell these kids, some of these kids are tall, but when you actually get in the press room for the interviews, you're like, right.
Yeah.
And I also want to give a shout out to Ashland Blazer because they surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to even win a game. You know, my guy raced the board, man. He won all conference.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Hey, he's nice.
That's your boy.
I talked to one of my partners from Louisville, and he was like, man, that white boy's fast, ain't he? I said, man, I found out he was mixed.
Because he was out there, man. He was out there, Ralph giving dudes the business. I mean, he
made
wasn't.
one dude from Warren Central
Fall.
fall. Yeah.
It was it Jerome? Or was that in the championship game where Jerome fell? Because I remember somebody made
This
Jerome
was in
fail.
That must have been the first round. Must have been the first.
It was
round.
in the 8, in the around the 8.
I didn't-
Okay. Because I know Jerome in that championship game or the Final Four game, somebody caught him and he fell at the free throw line. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I think it might have been Avion who got him.
Was it? Because I know somebody crossed him up and he fell, so I do remember that
No,
part.
it was Melo who crossed him up and then shot the jumper, but shot
Shot
the
the-
ball.
yeah, okay.
It was Melo.
Yeah, so they was down there getting buckets. So. What about players outside of your favorite high school player now? Well, who else impressed you down there?
Of course, I like Unseld for Warren Central. I like Parrish for GRC. The Shepherd kid, he got range. He didn't really show me too much, but he's going to UK, so I considered that. Let's see, I'm trying to think.
Well, I mean,
Morton, he
yeah.
played good.
Me personally, man, I like Chappelle, the kid from
Chappelle.
Morris.
21.
21.
That's good too,
Yeah, because he, like I said, and you know what I'm saying, we talked to him in the press conference, man, like in the fourth quarter of that game, man, when they needed a bucket,
He got
was
him a
able-
bucket.
he got a bucket.
He went and got him a bucket.
Yeah, and that was constantly throughout, you know what I'm saying, the tournament.
I just like Unseld because he was consistent throughout the tournament. Plus, he can play down low.
Mhm.
He got range. He can dribble a little bit. And he's a little athletic. So
Y'all seen any D1 prospects out there besides Shoulders, Morton?
I
Shepherd.
swear, if Sam was 6'3",
If Sam was 6'3", GRC be celebrating back-to-back chips.
yeah,
if Sam was 6'3", man, he would.
he's just a little short.
Yeah, man. Well, of course we see Chenault and Boone. They're definitely gonna be
D1, right.
Jasper's gonna be D1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clear.
obviously.
Making sure of that.
What about Wade kid from Woodford? Do y'all see
I was going to
D1?
say Santini. I like Santini's game. He's the guy. He can go get him a bucket, but he's
Sam.
He's not going to be
Too
tall.
small,
Though.
yeah.
He might get to 6 foot,
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know his genes don't.
Yeah.
ain't
He's
bad.
like Chris for Douglas.
Yeah.
I remember him when he was little. They used to have to tell him, his daddy, he can't play the whole game because it's unfair to the rest. Like he would outscore teams by
He
himself.
was the Frederick Douglass
But
kid.
he's just not gonna get tall. His daddy's like 5'5".
Yeah,
His
but
mama's
he
not
was
tall.
tenacious with the little time that he played.
He was scoring and
He-
stuff.
Yeah, he's a heck of a defender.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like we said, the genes just don't run. He ain't cute. Q ain't his daddy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be
Well, I mean,
6'2".
I don't know. No, I'm just playing for somebody to be like, hold on, Q, you been? Let's not get that started. But anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. When we come back, we'll talk to Shelvin Mack, get into some NCAA action because there's only one person in the room who got a team still playing right now. I really don't want to talk about it at all. But anyways, we're going to come back after this quick commercial break.
I'm kind of glad UK's done because I don't want to have to stress no more, bro.
I was listening to them talking about, well, if we would have had Wheeler,
Scholar.
but I'm like, if y'all would have had Wheeler, bro wouldn't have had 28 and 7.
No, Reeves didn't come.
He was-
come through. That's
He,
what-
no, Reeves didn't come
Did
through.
nobody come through? All of us, we went like 3 for 25 or something
Well,
like
I'm gonna
that.
tell you what
bro.
really killed y'all. He had been hooping and he had 2 points.
He was like 0 for 9.
Nah.
Topping.
Topping.
Yeah.
That killed y'all.
He didn't make a shot.
Don't get me started on it now.
That's
Oh,
Cal's
Yeah,
fault.
no, we
He's-
about to get you started.
Once you 0 for 10, I'm pulling you, bro. I got
But,
to.
but shoot,
I
though,
don't
man.
understand what we running when we out there on offense. Like, what is the offense? It's like
I didn't like it.
give it to
either.
Casey Wallace. Let Casey Wallace try to figure it out. Force it to. I can't wait till this guy leaves campus.
Dude,
Sheway, I'm so tired of him, bro.
When you have Lance Ware in the game, and you're dependent on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You're in trouble.
It's like nobody wanted to be aggressive and attack the hole. It's just, man.
See, it was crazy when I watched us play because I was like, where the fuck is Mitchell at? That's what I kept saying. I was like, where's Mitchell? And I found out he got hurt in practice after.
Welcome back to Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. We getting ready to talk a little bit of NCAA tournament action. My Tar Heels never even got invited to the dance.
Nope.
Wait, what? What?
You heard me.
Bruised Blue Devils took an L this weekend. Whatever team you
Yeah,
like.
you know. UK lost, unfortunately.
Ain't no unfortunately. We used to seeing that now.
You're right.
We used to
You're
seeing
right.
it.
At least we won the first round game.
We won in 7. About time. About time. We've been waiting on that. But anyways, we got Ozons, Hook'em Horns. Texas is still in this thing until this weekend when they get beat. But anyways, let's talk about first round upset and surprises. Brew, what was the biggest surprise for you or the biggest upset over the weekend for you?
Virginia wasn't really a surprise, so I'm going to go with Purdue. Purdue, you never believe in them, but I at least expected them to win at least a game or two. It's definitely a game. Kansas was kind of surprising too, but they was kind of shaky all year. They was
Arkansas is a decent team, though.
Yeah, they can long and rangy, and if they hitting shots, it's hard to beat them. So I would probably go with Purdue for sure. That's definitely the biggest one.
Oh, who you got, man? Who was your biggest surprise, upset over the weekend?
Arizona, that Princeton Arizona game, man. Princeton knocking off Arizona. I didn't see that one coming.
They got beat by kids with perfect SAT scores.
Yeah, that back door.
They still balling, too.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that back door. But Purdue,
That's what she
I've
said.
Purdue, when you have somebody that big who dominates, they never win.
No.
I had them.
That's style of basketball.
Yeah, I had them going down to Sweet 16.
So you didn't have them go far anyway.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it has to be that Arizona. That was the biggest shocker to me.
Before we get into Raf's upset over the weekend, we have NBA veteran, Lexington legend, Bryan Station defender alum, CBS college basketball analyst on the phone right now. We got Shelvin Mack in the building. Mac, what's going on with you, big dog?
Not much, man. How y'all guys doing?
What's
Man,
up, bro?
we just down here living. So we got Shelvin Mack on the phone for a couple of minutes. We just want to talk to him about his Butler Bulldogs making back-to-back championship game runs, who he got going to the Final Four, and what's next for Shelvin Mack. So Shelvin, let me ask my question to you, my guy. Who you got making it to the Final Four?
Right now, I'm going to have to go with, I got Alabama. I love Brandon Miller. I'm going with a lot of guard plays. I got Alabama, Brandon Miller. I think they're the best player in the country.
I'm going to go to you next.
I got Miami coming out the Midwest bracket because they guard play. They went to the Elite 8 last year. Isaiah Wong, the dude, he's a beast. He's been putting in work, the ACC Player of the Year. Then I got UConn. And they're going back to Houston. They beat us in the championship last time in Houston. So I think they're going to get it done. And then I believe Tennessee. I think they got the easiest path. Tennessee or Kansas State, one of those teams. With the way Tennessee plays defense, I can see them getting it, but also the way they play offense, I can see them not making it.
Okay. So we got Ozon Mitchell in the building right now. He wants to ask you a couple of questions real quick. Oh, go ahead, floor is yours, man.
Hey, Shell, what's up, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I want to ask you a question about your Butler days, man. Which one of the Final Fours do you appreciate more? The one where no one saw y'all coming, or the one where y'all kind of had a target on your back? Tell me a little bit about both those teams.
All right, so the first team, when we went to the Final Four, it was actually really good. I think it was on like a 25-game win streak. We also had Gordon Hayward. Same thing, kind of like what Houston got going back playing in Indianapolis for the Final Four championship game.
Yeah.
So that was real special. We were together for 2 years. A lot of people don't realize my freshman year, I after my freshman year, no one left. We basically had the same team for 2 years. Me and Gordon went to USA basketball. We was able to see, the big conferences. When we go to a mid-major, especially if it's in Horizon League, nobody want to play us because, if they win, they're supposed to win. If they lose, it looks bad. So we never got a chance to see what the competition looked like. So that was special. And then the second year, Gordon left and went to NBA. And, we was kind of struggling throughout the season. A lot of ups and downs, but we was able to figure it out. So I think that was like a bigger, a more completely better team for me, this with my experience. And we also won every game going to the Final Four championship by like the buzzer. Besides DCU, we beat Old Dominion on the last second shot. Also beat Pittsburgh with my foul stuff on the last second free throw. Then Florida, the same thing in Wisconsin. So it was a more difficult task, and enjoyed a lot more when you come down to those late possessions and you want to win.
Tell me your name first, and then go into it.
Hey, what's going on, Shell? This is Brew, a.k.a. Daniel, your high school. Well, I didn't get to play with you, but you know who it is. Man, I was at those games. So I was there when you played Michigan State, and I was there when you played Duke. But the first run was at 2010. You had some cramp issues. How was y'all able to overcome that? And also, what were they saying? Like, what were they saying in the huddle to kind of overcome you not being able to be in the game? And also, what ended up being the issue with those cramps?
So I had issue with cramps throughout the season.
Okay.
Doing different stuff. Just training wise, some of it was eating. You get older, be a pro, you learn how to eat better, take care of your body. So that was an issue. But then at the Final Four, I actually got food poisoning the night before at Weber Grill in downtown Indianapolis. We all went out as a team meal, go over the game plan. I had food poisoning, so I was just throwing up all night.
Okay.
So I just think I didn't have enough fluids in my body, for that game. And then also having 80,000 people there, it's an experience I'll never forget. I played in the NBA, played overseas, played everywhere, but you never get 80,000 people at one time watching you play basketball. So that was special. But teammates, kept the head high. Like I said, we were together for 2 years. Some people are hurt, so you got that chemistry. You're able to know how to play when someone's injured, someone's not shooting well, you just figure it out. That's what made it such a great team. It wasn't just all about me. We had other guys that could step up.
What's up, Shelvin? This is Ralph, man. Just a really quick question. In those 2-year run that you guys had, who would you say would be the toughest matchup that you guys probably had, the toughest team to kind of overcome?
The toughest matchup?
Keep in mind, Shell, when we talked over the summertime, you told me you gave Steph Curry buckets, so I'm gonna just put that out there.
Oh yeah. I remember, man, Duke. Toughest, man. All of them was pretty tough. We got so lucky majority of the time. I don't think people realize, when I tell you we won a lot of games, in the last 45 seconds, we got out executing people. But it's also our style of play. We never blew teams out, and we never got blew out, so we always had a chance to win. I would say the Kansas State team was pretty good. They had Jacob Puller. Yeah. Frank Martin was the coach out there. We played them in the Elite Eight. I forgot the point guard they had as well. But that was tough.
Hey, Shel, this is O again. Would you say one of your biggest high school disappointments is not making it to the high school Sweet 16 just because the Sweet 16 just ended here? And how do you feel about that?
I would say a disappointment. It is what it is. I got to learn that as many basketball games I played, especially playing in Kentucky. Kentucky is a special place to play high school basketball. I think they switched the regions and stuff up. I think we would have made it if they did that. But Kentucky's different. It's only one state champion. I talked to another former teammate and stuff. They say they're state champions, but when you in California, you got 8 state champions. Who's really good? That's the one beautiful thing about Kentucky high school basketball. So that, and then also, when we was at Brown State, we was able to change the culture, the way people view Brown Station. Going from when Coach Liggins started it off, and then finishing my senior year 30-3 on the national radar. I think that was something special. And Brad Stevens and Brown Station's in.
Hey, Shell, this is Brew again. Let me ask you, what do you think about high school basketball still not having a shot clock? Do you think they should propose and implement it?
I definitely think they should have a shot clock. You know, here in Georgia, where I'm based at, it's a shot clock. But you just want to develop. You know, it's just each year you want to get better. It's very unfortunate that Kentucky hasn't adopted it. It's not. I don't think it's setting kids up in the future when you plan a certain way, and automatically in 5 months when you get to college, you got to switch your whole style of play up because it's a shot clock. You got to make quicker decisions. I think it's just kind of putting us a step behind. I know back when we played, we didn't have a shot clock. We get up 10, you got around 4 corners for 4 minutes. And that's just not. You win the game, but you also not developing as a player, which is often the goal.
Hey, Shell, this is Q. Let the people know what you got going on next. I know you was doing podcasting for a little bit, but now we can see you on CBS. Let everybody know what you got going on right now, Shell.
So right now, I'm working at CBS. It's my second year doing it, CBS Sports Network. So College Town, all the games. Got a few podcasts. I chime in here and that. Also, doing some NBA front office stuff with a team. I can't say the team, but that's what I've been doing. Still staying connected to the game, just from a different side, and just taking it one day at a time and just enjoying life right now.
Hey man, I know you said you couldn't say a team, but could it happen to be at Purple and Gold?
I'm not working with the Purple and Gold. I know Coach Ham really well. He got the job this year. I was like, man, I can't move out to LA, man. It costs too much.
So I was gonna ask you about the Purple and Gold. I'm gonna just ask you this. Name a player on the team that you're talking about.
I'll give you an idea. It's a team that didn't trade at the deadline.
Okay, a team that did some trades at the deadline. All right, Brew got one last question for you before we get you out of here, man. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, Shelvin, we appreciate you for calling in, taking your time out your day. I know you're a busy guy. We appreciate you for giving us a little bit of it, letting us know your thoughts on the NCAA tournament, letting us know how it was for you guys in the Butler Bulldogs. So, Shell, hope to hear from you soon. Again, appreciate you for calling in, man.
Yeah, no problem. I know y'all mad Big Blue Nation in there, so hopefully y'all still turn the TV on and watch.
I'm the only person who's mad about
Ralph is the only UK fan in here. I'm a Carolina fan, Brew's a Duke fan, Ozon's a Texas fan, so Ralph is the only one that's really kind of hurt right now. We didn't even go, so.
The blue blood is going up with all the transport portal, keeping everybody together.
There it is. Well, that was Shelvin Mack tuning in. Appreciate you, man. All right.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, Shell, man.
So for those who are tuning in, that was NBA legend, high school legend, Lexington legend, Shelvin Mack, who is on CBS Sports. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Ralph's Lakers and what they're going to do with LeBron James to end the season.
Go home.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I ain't gonna be disrespectful. I don't think y'all gonna make it, though.
What you saying, Brew?
I was saying it's Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Brooklyn.
It has to be.
Okay.
Nah, it is.
He said Melo got the inside.
He got the inside.
Inside
What we were
tape.
talking about earlier today about when we was texting about having.
Yeah. Inside info. Yeah, no, that's what it is, though.
We a game and a half out right now, man.
We got this. Oh, why you tripping?
With 10 games.
Brew. Well, I'm not today. Not here for it.
That's Lakers fan, but he's a realist, man.
With 10
That's what I
games.
appreciate, man.
I know, me?
Man.
You
You talking about me?
Lakers
You
fan.
talking about me?
Bro, I'm fighting a never-ending battle, and I think I'm turning into like Clint Eastwood.
He
Because
said Eastwood.
the older I get, the more unrealistic the world gets.
It does.
100%, bro.
Except for when it pertains to,
Especially them bronze.
man, I can't stand them, bro. I can't stand. They get on my nerves too. They get on my nerves too.
I used to say it all the time. And people say, "Why you don't like UK?" The fans. It ain't the
It
team.
ain't the team. It
I
ain't the
go,
players.
who's the players? I done played in leagues with.
I like the team. I like the team.
The older people in my family.
Huh?
You want to tell you why I don't like UK?
Why is that?
It's been 1982 since a white kid from Lexington has accepted a scholarship and played basketball.
Talk about it, man.
Damn. 82. Who was 82?
You mean like actually played, or you mean?
Offered a scholarship and played because
Didn't they have a kid on there?
No, Big Vince got a scholarship, but he got in trouble. He took a route for this is inside information.
Yeah.
Took that route for saying a boy for smoking weed.
Yeah.
But then you realize they didn't offer Alan McCowan, they didn't offer Barry, they didn't offer Darnell, they didn't offer George, they offered Jerron.
Yeah.
But Jerron ended up going to the prep school.
Yeah.
They didn't offer Eric. They haven't offered.
Who was the kid that was on the team like 4 or 5 years ago? He was from Lexington, but he didn't walk.
walk on.
I thought he had a scholarship. He had to earn a scholarship.
He was a track kid. He was the track coach's son.
What about the dude whose brother?
Welcome back to Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. We talking a little NCAA action. That was Shelvin Mack who just called in to let us know his thoughts, views, and opinions on this year's NCAA tournament. But before he called in, we were talking about surprise upsets over the weekend. But before we get into that, we had someone call into the show. Caller, what's your name?
My name is Pain, man. I'm in pain right now, bro.
You in what?
I'm in pain, dog. It's Miguel, dog.
Oh, he's in pain right now. He's a UK fan in pain. So Miguel, give me your thoughts, views, and opinions on UK's run in the tournament and what's next for UK as a fan.
So let me just say this, bro. For me, the Sheboy project, it was okay, but it kind of failed. You know, they really pushed him to do things that he wasn't built to do. You know, when he got in that paint, they passed that ball to him, he was a fish out of water. You know what I mean? I just don't understand why he didn't see that trap coming and just have his eye on where to throw it to instantly. He was always just a fish out of water. And I'll say another thing. It just seemed like he needed to watch Shaq or David Robinson or more big men more, because he didn't have that attitude of big men that people like us grew up watching and, you know, implement our game after. He didn't have that. You feel me? So it kind of showed. And then I just don't understand our coach's approach to when we got close games at the end. It's just almost a given that we're not going to pull it out. You know, we don't make adjustments. And in the future, I mean, he's on the hot seat. Cal's on the hot seat, bro. He's got to do something to show that he can come out of these situations where it's real sticky and make a strategy to get our dudes a W.
I'm gonna go to you after this. All right, so what's next for BBN? Since you said Cal's on the hot seat, what's next for BBN? I know y'all got the huge class coming in and all of that. What'd you say, Ralph? You don't want to hear it?
No, I said one more year.
Oh, one more year?
You
Okay, so what's next for BBN?
Man, it's going to be a lot of in-house fights. That's what's going to be. You know what I mean? We're going to have all these people that's trying to tell us who we going to pick, who can replace Cal. Man, you're right. You replace Cal right now. What you talking about? You know what I mean? It's just one of them things, dog, that we got to understand who we are. Like, I was listening to the radio show after the game, and just the whole tradition of UK is gone. We got people that expected the tournament. I'm in pain. I hate that. I mean, it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
Ozone got a question for you. Go ahead, O.
Miguel, since Cal is on the hot seat, who do you replace him with? Because there's no coach out there that I think can handle the pressure that Cal has to take here at UK.
So I was listening to 6:30 this morning, and you know what they said? They said they believe, even though he just got hired, they believe that BBN will welcome back Rick Pitino. Oh, the dream. Oh, the dream.
Oh, man. Me and you are on the same page. I would love to bring Ricky P back.
Why?
Ricky P was our Coach K.
Ricky P is 97 years old,
If Ricky P chose not to go to the NBA and take that job in Boston, he would be our Coach K. Hands down. We would have way more championships here at Kentucky than what we have now.
So y'all upset because he left. That's what it's
Highly. This goes back to 96.
Bro, you hear this blasphemy about he would be Coach K? I'm going to let you address that. Coach K ain't my coach. I'm going to let you address that real quick.
That's how I feel.
First things first, everybody knows I'm not a UK fan, but I do like Rick Pitino. It's something about Rick Pitino. I don't know if it's just his little mob style or what, but when he went to Louisville, of course, I'm never gonna pick Louisville over
Right.
Duke, but I would definitely pick them over UK. He wouldn't have been Coach K. We're gonna stop that, but he would have definitely got UK probably another ship or two. And I mean, if you think he left in what '97,
Yeah.
so yeah, he would have probably had two more.
Well, because they went with they went 3 in a row. Didn't
Yeah, they won '96, lost to Mike Bibby, then they won.
Yeah, so
98
he would have had 2 months.
So here's what's going to be the kryptonite. Is if Kenny Payne starts busting us up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Patino
I agree.
is 70.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Calipari, for real.
Hey, Miguel, we appreciate you for tuning in, and we appreciate the support. We appreciate you calling in every week to let us know you in pain. But hey, man, your pain ain't like my pain. At least I was there. We didn't even pull up. We ain't had no gas. We couldn't even get there.
Y'all got Stackhouse on the horizon, though.
We got a lot going on right now. We got a lot
You not
going
sure
on.
about Stackhouse?
No, I'm sure about Stackhouse. I'm not sure about the guy we got. That's the
I
problem.
told you that from the beginning, though.
I didn't hire him. I didn't hire the guy. I was like,
he was not it.
I was like, man, let's
You gotta endure a little buddy down there for at least 3 more years.
I
Plus
know. He
that championship game bought him 3 extra years.
Yes, sir.
Man, keep it going. I'll rock with y'all.
I appreciate it, Goo. But for Hubert Davis guy, which Chris Jones calls him Blank Man. he calls him Coach Blank Man. But I really wasn't too keen on the hire to begin with. But I was like, let's see what we gonna do. Last season we struggled. We happened to get hot, won 5 games in a row when it counted the most, lost the most important one. Then I was like, okay, we got something to build on. And then this year, I don't know what happened. Players is fighting over girls. Hubert Davis, I feel like he lost control of his team. I feel like they wasn't listening to him no more. They started to tune him out.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, man, we got at least 2 or 3 more years of this. And because what you said, 1, he made it to the championship game, so he bought himself a couple more years. 2, we have to see what kind of recruits he brings in and what kind of system he's going to run with his guys, because most of these guys are Roy's leftovers. So we got to see what he can do with his guys. So I'm going to be like this for the next 5 years, bro, and I don't like it.
I know recruiting classes aren't as big as it was 5 years ago because of transfer portal. But what did he recruit and what does he have coming in?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Nothing this class coming in. The class after that, I think we're right now, there's a top 5 recruiting class coming in. Not this year, but the year after that. We had the GG Jackson kid. We had him sold up. And then the North Carolina fan base got involved, started being nosy, meddling around, and then he switched his pick to North Carolina State, and then he started giving buckets for them. He was the number 1, number 2 ranked player. He's the top 5 player in the nation coming out of high school, and we had him locked up. Then the fan base got nosy, and then he left us for North Carolina State.
Wow.
I feel like if we had Stackhouse, that wasn't gonna happen. But that's just me. It
It
does suck for us, and I can't say nothing for the next 2-3 years.
Nobody feels bad for Q right there.
Man, I hate y'all.
Baycott is coming back for his 17th year of college.
Yeah, he's on a college contract right now.
Really? You say
He's trying to be like
He's
Drew.
got an extra year. He's got an extra year. He's coming back.
Trying to be like Drew Timmy.
I think we went to high school together.
Been around for a while.
Well, who else you think is gonna leave for y'all?
Well, we've had a couple. We just had Puff Johnson who left, which I've seen people be on the fence about him, about should he stay, should he go. But my whole thing is we need as much depth as possible. So regardless of the lack of production that he gave us, we still need that body, and it's an experienced body at that, because he's gonna get major minutes for us. So that kind of hurt us. Now we're going to the transfer portal, and y'all know transfer portal is hit and miss.
For sure.
You might get a guy who can do something for your system. You might get a guy who does absolutely nothing for your system. So right now, man, Bucks suck, Carolina suck, Lakers is 9 games out of last place in the last. It just is what it is right now.
Love it.
Don't clap your hands, bro.
Love
Don't
it.
clap your hands, bro.
I'm clapping your hands for admittance.
So a minute, is that what it is? That's growth, bro. I'm growing up. That's growth, bro. But anyways, we got another caller on the line right now. Caller, what's your name? Oh, you there, caller? What's your name?
Hey, man, it's your boy, Don, man. What's up with it?
It's Don J, my fellow North Carolina alum. Back me up on this, man. But before we get into the Tar Heel and all that type of talk, tell me what was your biggest surprise upset over the weekend and who you got in your Final Four?
I want to say it was Arizona. And my Final Four match is the same as Shell.
All right, so go ahead, man. Get it off your chest, bro. Tell us about this North Carolina mess we got going on, because I'm about tired of talking about these boys.
Hey, man, they ain't living up to the pedigree. Everybody can't come and play in a program like that. We've seen it in other blue blood programs. They come in, can't crack the start, don't get as many minutes as they want to. With the transfer portal, it allows them to be free. Back up off Coach Hugh. Hugh has done a great job as far as recruiting.
Nope.
And with leftover players. He's done a great job of recruiting.
The vagrant. See, I'm not gonna do it. See, then you're gonna have us like UK fans fighting each other. I'm not gonna. You know what, Donovan? You right. I'm gonna disagree with you, bro, for the sake of the argument. You right. Go ahead.
All right. Each year he has had a 5-star to commit. Right now we got one on the roster. His name's Jalen Washington. He had 2 ACL tears back to back. He's going into his sophomore year. Last year he had GG sold up. He wanted to reclassify, and he ended up in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We can't help that. He was supposed to be on his next year's team. He was like, I can go now. This next year's class is already messed up because GG did the reclassifying late. I don't know what everybody saw in this number 1 ranked team, but we were trashed 90% of the year. We had a 6-game run, and people were surprised this team sucked. I was like, well, one major part left, and that was Brady Mack. Our 3-point shooting was horrid this year. And Hubert Davis likes to play and shoot a lot of threes. We didn't have that this year. And we just couldn't make up for that. It is what it is. We ain't had the shooters we needed. Next year's class coming in, number 1 recruiting class. We got that boy Ian Jackson out of, Brooklyn, New York. Elliot Kadu, who's currently playing on the Sweden national team. And Drake Powell, who just also moved up to a 5-star. He's a local kid down there in North Carolina, down there somewhere. He just lost in his state title. But we got players coming in. Hugh just needs the shooters. But I don't know why everybody was surprised this team sucks, but I'll go into detail more about that on another day.
Now tell them, Donovan, they can check out the Heels Have Eyes podcast. So you can go into great depth about all of that.
Are you sure that kid from Brooklyn is not going to recommit to Patino and St. John's?
It's highly possible, but why go play at St. John's when you see the recruits that's coming in with his class that you already got, that he's going to be playing with? I mean, does he really want to be by himself and stay at St. John's? I mean, what competition is he really going to get to play with? GG, I can understand when he transferred to the SEC. I was like, the SEC was kind of good this year. Overachieved, for real, than what I thought. But I don't really see him decommitting as of yet. Rick could pull it off. Rick is living rent-free in the back of my mind right now.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Donovan. Donovan, I appreciate you for calling into the show. Everybody who is listening or watching via Facebook, make sure you go check out the Heels Have Eyes podcast, all things North Carolina related, and also the Infinity Link podcast, which is all things Philadelphia Eagles related, which it's a short podcast. They ain't talking about nothing. The Eagles ain't did nothing. The Eagles ain't going to do nothing. They lost the Super Bowl. Don't nobody care about them no more. But anyways, Don J, appreciate you calling in and everything you do for me, big dog.
Yes, sir. Peace.
It'd be great to take a quick commercial break here on Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. When we come back, we'll talk a little NFL. Cam Newton, will he be on the NFL roster at the start of next season?
Did you see the video of Cam?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what it looked like. He has some arm strength now, but that pass was late as hell. He might could be a backup.
And that's my answer to the question.
Who wants him to be a backup if it's going to be the Tim Tebow thing, though?
But the thing is, the reason why he doesn't have a job is because he wants to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the headache.
Yeah. It's like someone said today, go to Baltimore and back up Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That might be the only place where he probably could go.
Because
and they
the
would
system
be.
fits.
I just don't think like he always says, there's not 32 quarterbacks better than Cam to me. So I think he should be on the roster, but will he be starting? No.
But he has that mentality.
Can't tell him no different.
I don't know. I don't.
Welcome back to Beyond the Game on WLXU 93.9 FM. We're going to get into a little NFL action. Cam Newton, who didn't play at all last season, has decided he wants to make a return to the NFL and is having a pro day at Auburn, right?
Yes, sir.
So my question to the guys is, do you see Cam Newton being on the NFL roster next season? Before I let y'all cook, I'm going to say, yeah, 2 reasons why. One is we saw a different circumstance, I get it, but we saw Deshaun Watson sit out a whole year and a half and come back and play in the NFL. We just seen Geno Smith get into a new system and actually came into a decent role. Yeah, got him a nice size contract.
Absolutely.
So if Deshaun Watson can come back and play after a year and a half, and Geno Smith can go into a new system and be a halfway decent quarterback, why not Cam? Why can't Cam go to the Raiders? They got Jimmy Guwop. Is Jimmy Guwop that guy? So why can't he go to the Raiders and compete for that job? The San Francisco 49ers ain't got a quarterback, so why can't he go compete for that
From
job?
Atlanta, why can't he go to Atlanta?
Why can't he go for Atlanta? So my thought process is, I believe he will be on an NFL roster, but I don't think he will be on one for long because I don't think he's gonna like sitting behind somebody. But Brew, what's your thoughts, man? Do you see Cam Newton being on the NFL roster next season?
I think y'all brought up some good options. San Francisco, I think he can run that offense. Cam can still run. The question is, can Cam still throw accurately?
Yes.
And that looked like it was painful for him for 2 seasons. We saw a video. He looked like he's got some arm strength. He don't have the arm he used to have, but he can still throw about 40 yards at least. So I think Atlanta is a good fit. He's definitely better than Mariota if he can
Mariota's not there.
Well, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter's young. He could mentor him. I think they might let that happen. San Fran, I don't think they'll have a chance on him. Ozone brought up Baltimore. He would be a good backup there.
100%.
And I don't think it would really cause too much friction if they have Lamar because Lamar's clear-cut better than him.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really see him going anywhere. And I don't think he would be comfortable backing up anybody they have in Carolina. So,
Well, real quick, Donovan said he wanted you to know, Brew, Coach K got executed by a rookie head coach. I'm just a messenger, bro. I'm just a messenger over here.
it's all good, man. Blank man, he got swept by a rookie head coach, man. So it's all good.
So y'all just returned the favor.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. Oh,
But you talking about Deshaun Watson and
Geno Smith.
And Geno Smith. The thing about those 2 guys, their skills haven't diminished.
Yeah.
Cam's skills has diminished from the time he was playing at New England. He went back to Carolina. It's
I got you.
day and night.
Yeah.
And like we said during the commercial break, is he willing to go be a backup to try to compete? You know what I'm saying? His mentality is not like that. So that's my only thing with him. If he wants to be on a roster, he can be on a roster if he goes in wanting to be a backup at first. So
What about Dallas? Back up Dak.
Why not?
I like that. Backing up
I
Dak.
don't like it.
You know, why is that?
I don't like it.
That's what I said. Why not?
It's already enough going on in Dallas, and to add
Cam
that to
and
Dallas,
everything that comes
yeah,
with
comes
it.
But for me, that benefits Cam because they want Dak to sit down. So that Cam is like, I'm just waiting, just waiting. I'm just waiting.
I think if he waits, it's the thing. We've seen multiple backups just come in and be a backup, and they always get an opportunity. So
Injuries
he's
happen.
he's gonna get an opportunity.
But that's the thing. He's not want to go. He wants to go in to be QB1,
Yeah.
True.
and there's
He can go play for the Bucks.
Man, don't start. You know what? He might. You know what? He actually
got
can.
Baker Mayfield.
You know what?
They got Baker
Oh, I
Mayfield.
just thought about that. I was like, you know, we got Baker Mayfield. You know what? He can come down there. But go ahead.
But like I said, man, we'll see after the draft where all these quarterbacks fall at in the draft, and then he can kind of make a decision on where he wants to go.
Right.
Because I'm sure he had the opportunity to go be a backup in New Orleans last year, but he chose not to go to New Orleans. So, you know, he wants to be a starter, and no one is going to give him that starting job to begin with.
How old is he? 33.
33.
He's up there.
32.
Especially in
Not that
football
bad.
Yeah,
years.
32. He'll be 33.
As a quarterback.
Yeah. What about you, Ralph? Man, can he come play for your Broncos? Y'all need a quarterback.
I say he can be a backup, but I mean, I think it's
Y'all
simple.
need a starter.
We do.
I like Ross.
I think he'll be
I
better
do.
this year
I do
under
too.
Sean Payton's system. But I think it's simple. I think O said it. I think Daniel said it. You said it. If he goes in with the attitude, back up, I can win this job, he has many job offers out there. But if he goes in, I'm the starter, I'm Cam Newton, I refuse to back up anybody, then he will be in the same position he's been in this year.
Okay.
Not in the NFL.
So then, what's a realistic spot for him then? If he has thoughts of potentially being QB1, where is somewhere? Because to me, I feel like
two teams.
I feel like teams either have a young quarterback they're already trying to groom, or a veteran quarterback who is seasoned and is okay.
I'll say two teams. I like
I like the Tampa team. Actually.
I like O's answer when he said a backup in Baltimore, but I will say Atlanta and Washington.
I can see the Washington.
Rivera,
Yeah.
I can see that. He's got a relationship with Ron Rivera when they was together at Carolina.
Do you think Eric Bieniemy can do something with him though? Because he's the OC now. Do you going from Pat Mahomes to Cam Newton? That's a huge.
But we don't know how diminished his skills are.
How strong his arm really is.
Yeah, ever since he's been in that car accident, it's gone downhill.
I don't. The thing that knocks Cam is his accuracy.
Yes, sir.
So him being in a quote unquote prolific offense is not his strong suit. So he needs to go to an offense where they kind of run simplistic stuff to benefit Cam, because you expecting Cam to hit somebody on a 15-yard out. That's not gonna happen. Like, you'll hit him 2 out of 7.
Yeah. His game has always been the deep ball and using his legs. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying, being on time, hitting that 15-yard out, going to the sideline.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
He'll hit him every once in a while. That 2015 season, I think, is stuck in his head, and I think he don't realize, bro, you're not that MVP Cam no more. Like you. And go ahead, Bruce.
We don't know what he worked on this whole year. Hope this is all that I can hope.
We don't know what he worked on.
If he comes in with that attitude that he needs to be QB1, his whole thing. If you can be accurate from 20 yards or less, you can at least come in and play. I mean, we saw that deep ball's always been his thing. He hit that man on the money on this pro day. It was a little late, but he might have some rust. But I would hope that that's what he worked on his whole offseason, because when he was in New England, it was painful.
It was painful.
He struggled to throw the ball down the field.
Watching him in New England was equivalent to Goo calling in his pain with UK. That's what that is. So to finish up the show real quick, guys, I'm gonna go through these matchups. Y'all tell me who wins going into the Sweet 16 for the NCAA tournament. All right. So we got Alabama and San Diego State University. I'm gonna throw it around the room. Brew, go ahead. I'm gonna say Bama wins that. Go ahead, Brew.
I'm gonna say Bama 2 more offense. They both play D. I'm gonna go Bama though.
Bama. Oh,
I like Bama. They in my Final Four.
okay.
Same here. I like Bama. They're in the Final Four now.
All right, so we got the matchup of two smart teams. We got Creighton and Princeton. I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna actually go with Princeton in this one. Go ahead, Ralph.
Same here. Shout out to those surgeons and everybody got on it.
Surgeons and future attorneys on that squad.
Princeton all the way.
Oh, who you got?
Flipping a coin.
Flip a coin. Who we got?
Came down to Creighton.
Creighton. Okay.
I'm rolling Creighton too.
Creighton. Okay.
Blue Jays, man.
2 for 2. So back around the room, we got Tennessee in the East region. We got Tennessee and Florida Atlantic. Brew, who you got?
Tennessee and Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
Man, I like that kid for Florida Atlantic, but I think they just gonna double him. I think if it comes down to the point where he's cooking, they'll just double him. And I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee. In a close game though.
Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee as well. Oh, who you got?
And the way Tennessee's playing right now, and the way they're roughing up people, it's like a football team playing basketball right now. So I'm going Tennessee.
3 Tennessee. Ralph.
SEC.
Oh, Lord.
Tennessee.
Y'all got to root for somebody. But anyway,
what else I got?
So the last matchup we got in the East region, we got Kansas State, which is the UK Killers, against Michigan State. Did y'all beat Michigan State? No, okay. But anyways, Brew, throw it over to you. Kansas State versus Michigan State. Who you got in this match?
Man, I like that go out for Kansas State, but they don't play enough players. Even though they are the real Wildcats.
They are.
I'm going with Michigan State Spartans because they got depth and everybody on the roster seems like they get some buckets. So I'm going with Michigan State.
Michigan State. I'm gonna hold them before.
This one's tough.
I'm gonna trust your judgment on this, Brew. I'm gonna go Michigan State with you. Go ahead.
H to the is
okay.
Okay. For real, he's the best. He's the best coach on that side. X's and O's coming out of timeouts. Izzo, man, gotta go.
Why doesn't Izzo get the credit he does? I feel like Izzo is for whatever reason he does more with less than any coach I've seen, but he doesn't
one
get.
national title.
But Cal got one.
I'm just,
But
Cal brings in the superstar, quote unquote,
exactly.
recruit. So
That's how he masks it.
yeah,
Is that what it is?
Izzo brings in the blue collar guys. He
Yeah.
doesn't bring in the flashy guys.
He bringing in the 3 and 4 year guys that's
Yeah,
gonna stay
that's
there.
gonna stay there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who you got? Kansas State, Michigan State
it's a
matchup.
tough
Ralph.
one, honestly, man. But I'm gonna go with Kansas State in this one.
Kansas State, all right. So and we're gonna go over to the Midwest region. We got number 1 Houston versus University of Miami, who just knocked off Indiana.
That's another
Excuse me.
tough one, man.
Ralph, who you got in this Houston Miami matchup?
Again, another tough one. Man, I wanna pick Miami, but I think Houston's strong, man. It's hard to pick against Houston. They've been one of the top teams all year, so I'm gonna go with Houston.
Houston.
Man,
Oh, we got an upset?
No.
Okay.
No, but I like a guard from Miami.
Yes, man.
Him and
Miami's
Saps
tough,
are
man.
going to go at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm taking Houston.
Houston, okay. Brew, who you got, big dog?
So Sasser, I did not watch the second game. He did he play? He didn't
He
play.
did play.
He did play.
Oh, yeah, he
Okay.
played decent.
Okay, well if he played, then yeah, I'm going Houston. I know Shell, he got Miami, and I trust Shell's judgment being a guard, but the way that Houston plays defense, and Wong, he's good, he's much improved, but he picks up stupid fouls, even on the offensive end.
He fouled out against Duke in the ACC championship.
He was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Last game was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Houston.
Houston across the board. And so let's go to this. I know that's why I didn't even want to do the matchup, man. So we got the last matchup in the Midwest region. We got Xavier versus that team from the South. Brew, who you like in this matchup? That team from the South that wears orange.
I didn't watch a lot of Texas this year, and I didn't watch a lot of Xavier. Texas was like up and down. They beat some people you wouldn't think they were going to beat. They lost. Xavier's playing good after not showing up in the tournament of the conference tournament. I'm going with.
They struggled a little bit in that first game of the tournament this year.
Yeah.
They struggled.
I'm gonna go on a limb and go with Texas. They are the 2 seed, but I'm gonna go with Texas. I don't know. It's a toss up.
That's a toss up. I'm gonna let you go last on this, since it's your squad. Who you got in this Xavier Texas matchup, Ralph?
Hey, man. Big 12 was tough this year. I'm going with Texas.
Going with
Go
Texas.
Longhorns.
I'm going with Xavier just because O's here. Go ahead and give us your analysis on this game. I already know who you're picking.
Marcus Carr's got to come and play ball, man. He's got to hit free throws at the end of the game.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Serge Jabari Parker, man, he goes. The Zizu, how do you pronounce his name? Man, he's killing it right now. So.
Is that the transfer from Vandy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I don't know why Cal didn't look at him.
Yeah.
For the same reason why we didn't look at Stackhouse and Vandy,
Whoa.
but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
But what scares me is that guard play from Xavier, man. They got 2 good guards down there, man, or up there. So, of course, I'm taking Texas. But it scares me. And it could be a 2 or 3 point game either
easy.
way. So, yeah.
You got Texas in this matchup. Let's go to the West region. We have the Arkansas Razorbacks, who just knocked off number 1 seed Kansas against UConn. Ralph, I'll throw it over to you first. Well, I got Arkansas' matchup, but go ahead, Ralph. Who you got?
This one's for Moms, man. She's a real Arkansas fan, so I'm going for Arkansas.
Shout out to Moms. Arkansas is the pick for Ralph.
Man, there's something about this UConn team, man. If you go back to think about when Shabazz Napier was there, they got guard play, even when your boy
Walker.
Yeah, Kemba Walker was there. There's just something about UConn right now, man. I'm feeling UConn.
Sleeper Final Four pick?
Yeah, sleeper Final Four.
By the way, that UConn team beat UK. Still pissed off.
Did they? Well, everybody beats UK in the tournament. But, Brew, who you got, man?
I'm going with UConn too. The UConn's tough, man.
Yeah.
They had a few bumps in the road on the way, but I think they were looking ahead. But UConn's tough. I'm going with them.
Okay, so we split on that one. The last matchup of the tournament, we got Gonzaga and UCLA. Brew, I'm gonna throw it over to you first. But for this one, I'm gonna go with UCLA in this matchup. Brew,
I'm
who you got?
rolling UCLA too. They got 2 tough guards. One of them's a senior, of course, Hawk has, and they just play good D, man. And it's really been showing up in the tournament. I think they only give up like 58 points a game. I think they're gonna fall victim to not playing nobody throughout the year. Drew Timmy, I know he's 25, but he might kill. I think he's gonna be the only one that shows up, really.
That's all they got. Oh, who you got?
I don't know, man. I like Gonzaga. Gonzaga has played teams throughout the season. Texas got them, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Why we gotta circle back to Texas, man?
Bringing up other stuff.
I know it, man. Season's over, man. What? Go ahead, O.
No, but I really think it's Gonzaga. I have them in my final four. So of course I have to take Gonzaga. I think the loss of that guard from UCLA,
Yeah.
Redding, is that what's?
I'm not for sure. I know you talk about. I
He
can't think of the
would have
name
been a
right
defensive
now.
player of the year. So them losing him, I think could affect them. So I like Gonzaga.
Ralph, real quick, who you got?
Zags.
Zags, and there it is. Well, we're going to wrap up tonight's show. We appreciate everybody who called in, tuned in, shared the show via Facebook Live. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, KY Beyond the Game. Oh, appreciate you for sitting in with us.
Yes,
And of
sir.
course, I got my BTG guys, Big Brew,
Yes,
and
sir.
Ralph in the building. This is your boy, Nephew Q. Getting ready to get up out of here. As always, we want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We up at this thing, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.